was checking my email like I do every day, and I just see, congratulations, you won the 5-year BPA. The contract will be worth $250,000. I got my cage code on March 5th, and I heard back that I won the BPA on March 25th. So in 20 days, I got the first award notice. So I work full time. I'm surprised more people don't know about it. You make a little money just for talking on the phone and sending emails. Just do it and you'll learn along the way.
I have an amazing guest with me today, Noor, who is going to talk about his recent contract win. So welcome to the channel.
Thank you, Kizzy. It's an honor to be on this channel. And I can just say that you have motivated me to be where I'm at today. And without your inspiration and watching these videos, I can honestly say that I wouldn't be in front of you today. So thank you.
Oh, well, oh my God, that warms my heart. And I just am so impressed by you because you took action. And so how did that even come about? How did you get into government contracting, let alone my videos? How did this happen?
A little interesting story. So the first time I ever heard about government contracting was actually on TikTok, and I was just scrolling through TikTok. I guess my algorithm was showing me like business opportunities and stuff like that because I was interested in starting business at the time. And so I scrolled past one video that was talking about government contracting. I didn't even know it as government contracting at the time, but I was like, wow, that's really cool. I've never heard anything like that before. I'll look into this. And then I just swiped past it and, I didn't think about it again. And then I kind of decided maybe in the coming weeks that I wanted to start a painting business. And so I, was laying the groundwork for that. And I talked to my dad, who's an entrepreneur, and, he had his reservations about it. He thought it was a good idea, but he thought that maybe I should think bigger. I come from an entrepreneurial family, and my dad is, working his way up to being a developer now with the help of my mom. They're kind of a partnership, and she's a general contractor. So he told me there's a lot of opportunities with general contracting, especially in the government, that you can make a lot of money doing, and that I should look into getting these government contracts because he knew people who used to do it. They'd get $1 million contracts and stuff like that. So I was like, okay, I'll look into it. So I talked to my mom. I was like, do you know anything about government contracting for like general contractor license? And she was like, yeah, you have to register in Sam.gov, but I never did it. I never had time to do it. So I was like, okay, I'll do that for you. And so I took their business, their contracting business, and I signed them up for Sam.gov. And I just started looking at what was on Sam.gov. And I was like, okay, there's some construction stuff on here, but there's like everything else too. So I don't even really need their business to do this. I can do this under my own LLC. And I had started luckily an LLC the year prior in 2023. And I just kind of started a general one just because I knew I wanted to use it in the future, but I didn't know what I was going to use it for. And so I just had that ready to go for when I had an idea and I wanted to get started. So I ended up registering my LLC in Sam and started looking at opportunities, watched your videos. And I mean, honestly, within like a few days, maybe less, I was like submitting proposals.
Oh my gosh. So you go through all of this, which is awesome. Like your mom knew of it, your dad's involved, you get in and you're like, wow, there's way more here. And then within days, you started submitting proposals?
Yeah. I've always just kind of like, maybe not always, but recently I've been like, there's no point in wasting time. Just do it and you'll learn along the way. And obviously, I know it's like the federal government and like you want to have all your ducks in a row and cross your T's, dot your I's, make sure you're in the clear. But at the end of the day, as long as you're being careful when you're doing the stuff, you don't really have anything to worry about. And I figured it would just be faster for me to just dive in head first as opposed to study and wait and seek guidance and all of that. And so I just decided to start.
I'm glad you decided to start. And what were some of the first opportunities you bid on?
Oh yeah, the first one, I didn't bid on this one, but the first one I wanted to bid on that caught my attention was for like shop towels for army bases or something like that. And they just needed a regular influx of the shop towels, and you take them, pick them up and get rid of them, or I guess clean them and bring them back next week. And I was like, okay, I know who to call for this. Cintas is a big provider of uniforms, towels, all types of stuff. I'm familiar with Cintas because I work right now managing a restaurant, and we use Cintas for our linens and our rags and things like that. So I was like, I wonder, like, let me call Cintas in Wisconsin and see if they'll do this. They weren't very friendly about it. And they were like, we've gotten like 50 calls and we're not giving anybody quotes until like they win the contract. And I was like, for them to win the contract, they need a price and whatever. So that one didn't work out. The first one that I bid on was for, I think it was a national park service in like California. It was funny, they needed like disposable toilet kits. So I guess, I don't know if you're allowed to use the bathroom in nature out in that national park, or they want you to use these toilet kits. So they needed like 25,000 of these to-go portable toilet kits.
Whoa.
And so I just, went on Google, trusty Google, and I started looking around. They wanted like specific name brands, so I found that. Went to a wholesale website, found a price, got it together, just 10-page document later, submitted it, and I was waiting, or once I submitted it, I was like, okay, on to the next one.
And so, wow. And what also is so impressive, not only that you took the steps, you went online, you called them, you said no to the towels, but that you also are doing this while you have a job.
Yeah. Well, so I work full time right now, and it's actually a family business. So my parents, they opened this restaurant actually during COVID. We're going on 3 years now, but so I'm a manager there, and we're got a million things to do. We're still a young business, and I'm very much actively involved in all of that. And so I've always, wanted to do stuff for myself along with my job. And so I was like, in the downtime, because restaurants are seasonal. So last winter, or the winter before that, I decided to get my real estate license. So I went ahead and did that. I've been licensed for about a year now. And so that's been good for me. But I decided ultimately, like, it's time to, learn something new. And, my life is always about just knowledge and growth, and I want to learn as much as I can. And so I think this avenue is going to be a really, really good teacher for me.
Oh, definitely. And so talk to us about the win.
Sure. Yeah. So my win was with the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service in South Dakota. And so they just needed bulk fuel delivery. So they needed unleaded gas, clear highway diesel, and propane. So they had several tanks on site that they needed filled up whenever they need fills. And so they had a 5-year BPA. And actually, I didn't even know what a BPA was until I was watching one of your videos, and someone was talking about they want a BPA. And I was like, okay, let me search BPA in Sam.Gov. That one popped up. So I, read it. It sounded good. It seemed like something that I could do. And so I called up, a couple vendors, made sure they had everything, specifications were on point, everything checked out. And then I got prices from them, found the best price. Ultimately, wasn't the best price, but the most responsive vendor.
That's key.
As well as a good price. So somebody that was, going to communicate with me and also provide a, reasonable price. And so I got my proposal written and I submitted it. That one was like, it was crazy. It was like 10 times better than my first proposal. And it was my second one, but just from writing the first one, I learned so much. And in the second one, I was like, okay, this one's good. I know this one's good. So even if it, didn't win, I would have still been confident that that was a good proposal. And ultimately, they gave me a call. It was maybe not even 2 weeks later.
Okay, they called you 2 weeks later, but I also want to know, how did you find these vendors? Did you go to Google again?
Yeah, so I just Googled it. I was looking for bulk fuel delivery services in, I think it was Huron, South Dakota. I think that's how you pronounce it. And, found a list, started emailing, calling, found my people that I wanted to work with. And their rep made the mistake of calling me on his personal cell phone. So I made sure to, save that number in my phone and text him anytime I needed anything. And I was like, hey, will you be like my guy for this? Because I need somebody to work with on this. He's like, yes, sir, whatever you need. And so now me and him are still communicating, and we're trying to get this BPA done.
And so then they call you, and what did they say over the phone?
Actually, so they didn't call me.
Oh, okay.
They emailed me. Sorry, I misspoke. But I mean, I woke up and I was checking my email like I do every day, and I just see congratulations. And I was like, okay, that is surprising. Let me read this. I was like, you won the contract, or you won the 5-year BPA, and these are the further steps. Please sign, yada, yada. So I'm like, okay, let me calm down, read the contract, make sure everything looks good. And everything was good. So I signed it, sent it back.
Wow. And so have they issued a task order? In other words, have they issued their first request for the fuel?
Yeah. So I looked into it, and I went ahead and searched the solicitation up again in SAM just to make sure everything was good and I was listed. And so it was a multiple awardee. So it was me and 3 other people on there, or 3 other companies on there. And so I just talked to the technical point of contact to clarify, we're going to be bidding every time you guys need a fill up. And they're like, yeah, we'll go with the best price out of you 4, but you 4 are the people we're calling. So you're going to be our vendors for this. And so they have not put one out yet.
It's okay.
But I'm waiting to hear back, and I know they'll need one relatively soon. And I'm working on getting my account set up with my vendor right now.
Which is great. And what I love about blanket purchase agreements or BPAs, they're inevitably, not everyone will respond. And especially as time goes on, and then you'll get to the point where the agency really likes you, and then they may start tailoring the task orders just for you.
I hope so. I hope it gets to that point. I'm trying to be open and communicate everything with the point of contact for this. It's someone who's in charge of maintenance. I guess he's the assigned person to handle all of this. And so I've been, talking with him back and forth, being respectful and open. And, ultimately, if I don't win the first call, then I'm gonna bid again until I do. And I'm really just hopeful for the future of this.
No, it's going to be big. And what's also great is you can reverse the math. So if for some reason you don't win the first one, you can do the math on the winner, and then you know what you need to come in with your price to win.
Yeah, I'm excited. I think they estimated the contract would be worth $250,000, and I'm not sure if that's over the 5 years. I think it's over the 5 years, so it's good. It'll be nice to even just make like a few $1,000s a year. Would be just a nice feeling to be able to make money really out of nothing. I mean, through a line of credit with the supplier, and then you bill the government and they pay you, and you make a little money just for kind of talking on the phone and sending emails. So
right. And for fuel, like something that most of us use unless you have like an electric vehicle.
Yeah.
Wow. And so what are you bidding on next?
And so I've bid on a lot of stuff since then. Let's see, what else did I do? I did like a cleaning contract, but like for carpet cleaning and upholstery cleaning. And that one is for the US Embassy in London, actually, which is pretty cool. So I guess they're doing a big renovation coming soon. And so they had a bunch of different solicitations and RFQs out. So I was definitely looking at those. Ultimately, that one, the upholstery cleaning one, was the one I thought would be easiest for me to do. The other ones I didn't really have as much expertise or knowledge in. And then I'm also starting to look at a state level as well. I'm based out of North Carolina, so I just got registered with EVP NC. So I'm looking at a bunch of different state ones. I know the Department of Transportation here is looking for like some electronic signature pads or something like that. They need like almost 600 of those. So I'm looking at, working with a vendor to get a good price on those. And really, I commented on one of your posts that you had, actually it was the day you reached out to me, but you were asking what everyone was bidding on. And I said, anything that's a good deal, which is what you said, I think, on one of the lives that you had. But really, that's it. I'm not looking for anything specific. I'm like, oh, that sounds all right. Let me look into it. And if it seems like something that's going to work out, numbers wise and logistically, then I'll bid on it. I'm not, prejudiced in any way to any kind of solicitation. Money is money. And I'm, more than willing to do whatever kind of contract or work with whoever to get it.
Well, I love it. I love it because you take the risk. You didn't focus on being perfect and getting a bunch of knowledge and then acting. And the action is paying off because you have the win. So clearly you know how to win. And then it's just getting more wins, trying different areas. I love the state level, those signature pads. I mean, I just saw an opportunity for fake money on Unison Marketplace, like really? 20s, 10s. I mean, it's prop money, fake money. It's unreal what government agencies want to buy.
It truly is. I mean, it was like I was saying, when I was entering Sam.gov for the first time, I'm expecting a bunch of construction work and stuff like that. And, because I'm hearing about it from my parents and they're talking about general contracting and how it applies to them. But when I entered, I was like, okay, this is vast. There's everything here that anybody could ever want. And, ultimately there's enough for everybody. So I think it's a great opportunity. I'm surprised more people don't know about it. I mean, I guess it's good that it's not like super saturated, but it's a great opportunity, and I can definitely see why you're so open with sharing the knowledge, because there's just so much to go around. I've been watching a lot of the interviews recently as well, and people are saying that a lot of stuff is going unbid on. So we need more people to bid on these contracts.
We do, because people get caught up in their head. They think it's saturated. They think like thousands of people are bidding. And you'll find on average, maybe there's 10. There's a contracting officer who joins in on my lives on TikTok, and he doesn't represent the government when he joins on the lives. And he was saying that on average, he may have 10 bids. And there are times when he'll have 1 or he'll have 2. And so it's just about that taking action. I mean, to go against 10 companies or 1 company, or to be the only one, where else do you have that? You don't have that in restaurants. You don't have that on Amazon selling things. You don't have that really anywhere else.
Yeah, and I know I've tried a lot of different things, Amazon FBA, drop shipping, different approaches to, entrepreneurship, and ultimately, I'm not going to say I quit, but I realized very quickly the effort and the capital requirements. And those are 2 things I wasn't able to give at the time because I have a full-time job. And so those didn't work out. But when I found like government contracting, I was like, wow, this is like honestly my dream gig right here. And I can definitely see myself doing this full-time. I think ultimately when everything is stable at the restaurant and I'm growing my portfolio in government contracting larger and larger, I'm going to start doing it full-time. And I'm really excited.
Oh, I'm excited too. And I want you to come back as you win more and more opportunities. And Noor, how can people reach out to you?
So you can send me email. I'd prefer if you emailed me. My business email is Noor, my name, N-U-R, at oasisdevelopments with an S.com. Noor at oasisdevelopments.com.
Awesome. I encourage everyone, please reach out. Please do that. And if you haven't picked up a copy of my book, Winner's Way book, that's what I'm talking about. I love
that. This is gold right here. There's a lot of good information, especially if you're starting out. Like, this is what you need to grasp with government contracting. I mean, take it from me. I just pulled this information right here, but I got my cage code on March 5th, 2024. And I heard back with acceptance that I won the BPA on March 25th. So in 20 days, I got the first award notice.
That's going to make me cry. That is so, y'all, wow. That is remarkable. That is so remarkable in 20 days.
It's thanks to you, Kizzy, honestly. Like, I genuinely mean that. I wouldn't say if it wasn't true, but I mean, watching your videos actually was the make or break for why I was able to do this. So thank you so much for just putting out the content that you do. It's really important that you're sharing it, because you could easily just be like, I mean, I've done 70 million in contracts. I don't need to share with anybody. And, you'll still be happy, but it's just like this, you're working for a bigger purpose. And so I really appreciate that.
Oh, and I love that you see the bigger purpose, that you and all amazing GovCon winners. Oh my gosh. I am just, wow, y'all. Oh man. Okay. Wow. I'm blown away. I love this. I love this because it shows what's possible. And even if you don't win in 20 days, don't give up. I know of people that took a year, or took a couple years. Like, it's not a sprint.
Definitely not. No, don't give up. I know my first proposal that I submitted, I lost, and I went and checked and made sure. And yeah, I lost. I reached out to the contracting officer and they didn't even respond to me. They were like, very unresponsive throughout the whole process. So maybe that wasn't a good sign, but I definitely lost that one flat out. And the funny thing is, I thought I lost the BPA as well. Because I got, I followed the solicitation on Sam and I received an email, and I think I disregarded it the first day. And then I checked it like the next day. I looked at it and they had amended it. And when I looked at the amendment, it said that they were removing the total small business set aside. So in my head, keep in mind, this is after I had submitted my proposal. In my head, I'm like, okay, they saw my proposal and they saw everyone else's proposal that was small business. And they were like, this isn't good enough. So we're removing the total small business set aside, and we're going to let like a big company like Airgas or somebody, who can give us the best price and they're reliable. We're just going to let them bid on it and we'll give it to them. So that's really what was in my head. So I have a log of all of my, potential prospects for solicitations, RFQs and whatnot. And I put on my log that I lost that one. And then I moved on, I moved on. That was a loss. And I moved on to the next proposals that I was writing. And then I don't know, it was like maybe the next day or the day after, And I got the email and I was like, okay, I guess I didn't lose.
That is so cool. I love that. I love it because we do that. We look for an explanation. Why did they make the change? Why did they extend it? Why didn't they extend it? And so it's great because the blessing came.
It really is. It truly is. I remember I was so excited. I woke my girlfriend up. I was like, I have good news. And she was like, do you want a contract? I was like, yeah. And so she was super excited for me. And I just told my parents last night. I had dinner with them and they were really proud of me as well. So that was a good feeling. And, you know, I'm really, like I said, super excited for this journey.
I'm excited for you. And I hope people reach out to you. Again, y'all know about the book. Like, subscribe, hit the notification, get the book wherever my arms are.
Definitely get the book.
Get the
book. I mean, it's not expensive. And I mean, the amount of, if you had to put a price on the information in this book, it would definitely not be $20. So
it definitely wouldn't be, and so I appreciate you. I appreciate everyone watching. Don't forget, like, subscribe to the notification, Facebook group, go to profitablecontracts.co if you haven't, and go to winnerswaybook.com to get the book. And again, thank you for being here, and we're going to do this again.
Awesome. I'm so excited, Kizzy. Thanks so much for having me.
Thank you so much. Y'all, I almost forgot. Everything is possible. I got so excited. I got so caught up in the 20 days. Everything is possible. Until next time.